Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us to this special edition of the Paule-Cast, one dedicated to the AWT WOW community. And today I will have the honor, and not to say the joy or the privilege, of having a chat with none other than Janice Shawl. She is the president of AMSA Inc. And she will explain today what it is to live and embody the wow factor when we are a member of the AWT, which is the Association of Water Technologies. It's a thriving association. And of course, WOW stands for Women of Water. However, our guest Janice will also see something else in those three little letters, which are bigger than life. She sees wisdom, optimization, she sees observation, and of course, at the heart of it all, water. Welcome to the show, to the Paule-Cast, Janice.
Hi. Good afternoon.
This is absolutely wonderful that you could join us. And of course, you are breaking the ice today because this is the very, very first Paule-Cast. And it came about, it's a crazy idea because it came about when a group of us, Women of Water, got together. Indeed. And Janice, of course, we need to know a bit more. For those who don't already know you, I myself have been discovering a fantastic woman. You are so inspiring. You are so authentic and present. Every time we've had discussions and meetings, I'm an avid learner of your wisdom. And
very kind to say.
No, but I mean, it's the truth. And so I'd like, for the benefit of our listeners, to maybe if you could give us brush a little portrait of who you are on your professional background.
Sure. I am Janice Shawl, and I am the president and CFO of AMSA Incorporated, which stands for Antimicrobial Specialists and Associates. We are a specialty chemical manufacturer. We manufacture chemicals or products from specially designed molecules, and our chemistry is designed to penetrate and disperse biofouling deposits in industrial cooling water systems. So our chemistry is used to clean up fouled systems, and then when used on a regular basis, it keeps systems clean. And I am a co-founder of our company, and I have founded it with Attila Relaney. He was the technology visionary of our company, and I am more on the administration operations end. We are a husband and wife team, and we are both principal stockholders within the company. So we have founded and grown this company together, and we've been in business for, on our 27th year now.
Ay, that is quite the achievement. Not only to have built this business, it's like giving birth to like an entire entity, but working alongside, that could be an entire Paule-Cast in itself. Having said, no, let's not go into this
not
right
today,
now,
right.
not today. But
Right.
what really? So thank you for this. But and what got you to get involved with the AWT?
Yeah. So my own background, I'm from education side. So I was a school-wide administrator at Midland Public Schools. And Attila, he worked at Dow Chemical before he started his own company and had known about the AWT as an association. So when he left Dow Chemical to start his own or our entrepreneurial company, he knew that the AWT was a great trade association for him to bring his chemistry too and help the industrial water treaters in the small and medium markets. So that's really how we became, and we have exhibited there since we started. So nearly 27 years. We missed 1 year during the pandemic. So we've been a member of the AWT exhibiting and adding our industry knowledge to that
Mm-hmm.
group for a long time.
And you yourself, as the president and the CFO, and being a very active member at the AWT, what triggered your interest to partake this association and be so involved?
Yeah. You know, I learned more about the industry
Mm,
in being a member of the AWT
yeah.
because we're more on the science side, on the chemistry side. So for us, interacting with the water treatment companies, I really learn much more about how our chemistry is used and how it can be beneficial. So I find that being a member, I joined the Business Resources Committee because I felt as if
Ah,
that was the area where I had more expertise and could give back to the organization. And that group or that committee works on presenting webinars, putting together the business owners meeting at the annual AWT shows, and really bringing resources for AWT members to run their businesses better. Because
mhm,
really, most of our members are entrepreneurial companies as well.
mhm,
And one of
mhm.
the things you find in being a small business is you have to know everything. And you really need to be able to reach out and network in order to understand the many facets there are of running a business. And I feel as if the AWT is excellent. That, as well as small business organizations and other organizations, are great networking opportunities for our small business companies and medium, larger companies to really reach out.
Yeah, most definitely. Now, having said that, I find that us women of water are some sort of a unique type of molecules, if I might say so. So, how would you
Yes,
define yourself as a woman? Being part of this industry. When I first, I first came about to meet so many members, I was looking for the women. It's like,
right.
are they hiding? Where are they? So, how do you describe yourself within this environment?
It's interesting because in education, that's very much of a female
Yes.
oriented industry, if you will. And so, in coming into the water treatment industry, there were not as many women when I first started. There certainly
Mhm.
are females in the supplier, in labs and scientists, as well as some of the business owners, but definitely in the minority. So, over the years, I just have found that there are more and more women coming into the organizations. And
Mhm.
what I like to see is having us women step forward more in leadership roles as opposed to just being more supportive, the girls who get the trade show to booth together kind of a thing, more so as being out technically and advancing what we know in the
Indeed.
business as well.
You pose um, the word leadership. One of the questions that we've been asked in so many ways and so many times when we are discussing, how to run a business and how to mentor is there such a thing? Is there such a thing as feminine or women leadership? What is your take on that?
I feel as if women le- leadership is a there are some innate um, strengths that people have as leaders
Hmm.
naturally, but it
Hmm.
also is something that is built and it's fostered. And so my take is that, leadership, it's just something that you do. You step forward, you are competent, you know your subject matter, you can take charge. And for females, it really is in feeling comfortable that you are able to do that, even
Hmm.
if you're a minority in the group.
Mm. Do you feel that, when we were talking in the introduction about wisdom and optimization or observation, these would be the key to being a leader, having the ability to foster or at some point nurture some wisdom and also be able to observe what your counterparts do, and are they act, and are they behave, and also how do you optimize, your leadership, how, like, it's an intricate way to look at how we are, because in the women of water community, we like to say, let us be. Wow. So I'd like to hear you on that.
Yeah, realistically, I think good leaders do listen. They do pay
Mm,
attention and learn. I mean, that is one of the things for myself in leaving one career to join another. I love learning. And
mm.
I feel as if when you listen and pay attention and you are confident, it helps you to come forth as a much better leader. And that is one of the things. I'm in several groups. Some are female, some are male and female, where we are doing professional development, reading books, trying to better understand the business world or our technical world. And I feel as if just in that participation and networking, it helps build that confidence and that competence to be a leader in the water treatment field, which is really very important. Water is a precious resource, and it is something that we need to use wisely as good stewards for our world. And so I feel as if we're in a very important industry.
Do you see yourself, when it comes to water, do you see yourself as a carer or a treater? Do you see a difference between those two words?
A carer or a treater?
Yes, because, sometimes I hear, we do have to take care. It's almost like bringing out, and I don't mean this in any other ways than the word itself. It's like we're mothering the water, taking care of it and elevating it and making it, like, growing to a better use. And of course, as water treaters, it's all the understanding what water is all about and how it comes into interaction, like, from a scientific perspective or technical perspective. So I feel that sometimes we have to play so many roles when we are a woman and when we are facing the water.
Yeah. It is an interesting thought because really being a supplier, our goal is to share our technology and the
Mm-hmm.
best chemistry in our instance that
Yes.
can help us have more sustainable water use.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel as
Definitely.
if the water treatment service companies are leaning on all of us to have best practices. And realistically, in our world, water is so precious. It's very important that we use it. We certainly need to power our industrial complex, if you will, but we do need to do that wisely and sustainably. And I see within the AWT, our chemical suppliers, as well as
Mm,
the water treatment service companies, do work hand in hand to support one another to make our industry much more sustainable.
most definitely. And to that point, I was wondering if you could maybe share with us some of your key experiences, when you've had within the AWT, and you are so always calm. You're like water, you're so calm, and you inspire, I mean, trust. And we know that whenever we work with you or collaborate with you, when you say, like, you only have one word, when you say it's gonna happen, it happens. It's like water. If it's gonna flow, at one point it's meant to flow. It's alive. And I was wondering, because you've had so many experiences, maybe share with us one of your successes that you've had within the AWT organization.
For me personally, one
Mm-hmm.
success I've had is in 2021, I gave a professional commercial corner during the show. And for me, because my background wasn't necessarily in science, but I have learned about our chemistry and about biofilm and what we do on the job, if you will, to
Mm-hmm.
be that leadership person, to share, give the technology transfer in a public forum to a group was for me a personal achievement because I felt as if it showed that females can be competent in the technical arena and we can take leadership roles. And I had a successful presentation, and to me, that was I guess a personal milestone.
Hmm.
I'd spoken a lot in the area of education, but to do that in a technical sense for AMSA, I was very proud of that. And
So,
hopefully, it was a model for other females in the audience that you too can get up, do those papers, be that front person of your company sharing that technology transfer.
mhm. Indeed. And taking away from that, why do you see so many, do we say so much value in being a member of the AWT? What is the value? I mean, that you just shared with us, it was like a stepping stone. You were not looking for the light, but you were able to shine in some ways, in your own way. But what is a value? Like, if we were to explain to other women that would want to join AWT, how could we describe what you are experiencing as a woman of water?
It's a place for learning about your industry
Mm,
and for growing personally and professionally. And realistically, the women of water, I have gone to all of the women of water receptions at the AWT, and it's been an opportunity for me to meet other women, as well as because we're exhibitors, I also meet women at our booth and
mm.
in the exposition hall as well as in the meetings. So, I've really found it as a great place as a source for learning as well as for networking. So you can learn from the presentations, if you
Mm.
will, but also from the interactions.
We've been asked, at the last cocktail when we actually gave birth to the official logo, and
Right.
of the AWT. Wow! And some of our colleagues came to see us and said, "Well, why, women of water? Aren't you happy to be a member of the AWT?" And I felt compelled to say that it's us recognizing one another and having different insights in what we are looking for. And like you say, it's a place of learning, connecting, and we do live in an age of individuality where we feel that we need to connect with some peers that may come from the same background or.
Right. And, historically, women as a group don't always
Mm,
go for leadership roles or put themselves forward, advance themselves. And I think, it's not to dissociate or not be a part of the larger group, but it really is an area for a women of water is a place for women to connect with other females, to empower one another, to
mm-hmm.
take on some of those leadership roles that in social mores or historically females haven't necessarily done in the past. And that's especially true in the sciences, right, in the area of
Yes,
science, and we're talking about chemistry,
yes.
or in the more hands-on water treatment industry tends to be more male dominated. So I think that it's just a way for women to support one another to bring themselves forward and be more leaders rather than just staying back on the sidelines.
Yeah, it's like taking part of the discussion,
Right.
being a true stakeholder as well in so many ways, because we hold so many roles and so many men, our colleagues, hold the same roles as well. But how we approach them and the end results and what we are looking for may differ from time to time. And like you said, it's the bringing together and that creates the spark at some point. And talking about light and sparks, you have been reading. You sent me a list of books you have been reading lately, and I thought this was very interesting because you did mention a business. You did mention something more recreational, and I really like Seeing the World Through the Customer's Eye by Bob Moesta and Greg Engel as a contributor. I'd love for you to talk to me about this a bit more.
Sure. Coming out, being more of a science-based company, we realized that marketing was not our strength. So
Mm,
I've been working on trying to understand marketing and how to explain complex technology in a more operational way. And the book Demand Side Selling by Bob Moesta does an excellent job of talking about, as you're positioning your products, what's important. You're selling to help your customer make progress. And he has a stepwise what the selling process looks like, and how you first have to open up folks' minds to possibilities of maybe using your product and how it can help them make
Hmm.
progress in their own lives. So it's a really an excellent book for taking the customer's point of view and trying to better understand and position your products as to why they need them, and help your customers understand that better.
And again, to your point, using water wisely, it's not only how to use you do you sell it, but how do you listen to the needs of your customers? Also for industrial operation, and that makes us better stewards of our world. Now, what again, as a woman of water, this is piquing interest of a lot of people right now, and I like this sentence when you say take that makes us better stewards of our world. So how do you see yourself as a woman of water doing just that, being a better steward of our world?
You know, our what I really enjoy, our chemistry helps solve some problems that folks sometimes can't solve with other standard water treatment program. And
Mm,
so I feel as if when we're able to work with our customers and have them have better performing systems, it's helping to save energy. It is helping us save water, use higher cycles of concentration. And all of that is helping us preserve that precious resource, which is water.
most
And in that way,
definitely.
we are better stewards of our world.
Most definitely. Now, having said that, if you were to be in front of a group of students, what key points would you include in a speech to promote your profession and let who you are come across as the president of AMSA Inc., as a woman of water? What sort of speech would you be giving out?
I would emphasize that the water treatment industry as a whole, it's interesting.
Hmm.
It it's scientific. It allows you to be somewhat self-driven, to have some autonomy, whether you're on the chemical supplier side working in a lab, or whether you're in the water treatment service industry and servicing accounts. There's a lot of problem solving, you've got some individuality, and that's empowering within itself. But also the science of it is very exciting, and you're working in an industry that is important for our world. It's fueling industry as well as doing using water more smartly and helping us to be better stewards of our world. So I think that there it's in it's personally enjoyable as a career, as well as having a larger purpose.
Most definitely, and I think that you've said it quite a lot. How to be wow. It's to feel that you belong to a group, a community, and also be able to empower other women, but be empowered yourself. And as a woman of water, this is it's almost like a mission that we would like to carry. So, would you be inviting more women to join the industry then?
Most certainly. Yeah, I feel as if sometimes again, women may not feel they look at an industry that's more male dominated, and it may make them more tenuous to not join. But I would
Mm.
definitely there is certainly a lot of opportunity for women in this industry.
Janice, we have been chatting for a few minutes now, and we're about to I have to say, I don't want to say conclude this conversation. I'd rather say it's like a stepping stone to other subjects we will be undertaking in the near future. But this is interesting that you've not given out a lot of interview. You're very, I mean, you're very I wouldn't say secret. How could I say this? I mean, you're not looking for the limelight. You and again, the highlight. But who would you like to bring into your light today in thanking them or recognizing that they have been a force and they are still a force in your life as a woman of water? Would you like to maybe say a few words to a few people?
You know, when I was earlier in the AWT, Jill Cavano
Mm.
was one of my mentors, if you will. She's been in the business. Attila made sure that we met one another right at the first AWTs, and she has been a wonderful mentor for me in understanding the water treatment industry. And I would also highlight Dr. Kiran Jain, who works with Chemakwa. And I have had a wonderful friendship with her over the years, and she has been a fantastic role model to me as a very competent woman who is a avid scientist. And yeah, both of those ladies, I when I go to the AWT shows, I like to seek them out, and I've enjoyed their friendship over the years.
Oh, that's excellent. Thank you so much, Janice. I do not want to leave you. I know we'll get to see one another at the upcoming convention. Any thoughts on meeting other women of water at this convention? We can certainly feel that there is some energy. There's something, some magic happening, don't you think?
Oh, definitely. And I hope ladies stay around for Friday night. The reception is on Friday night. It will be very, very exciting because we're really working out some charter beliefs and we'd like to get more women involved. And what I would personally like to see is us having conversations throughout the year, not just talking
Oh,
at
yes.
the AWT meeting. And so I feel as if we would like to be very inviting, and hopefully as more ladies are getting into the industry and we're having more women in higher more leadership positions, it would be wonderful for us to just network a little bit more and more throughout the year.
Janice Shawl, it's a joy to know you. It's a gift also, and you are a great steward of this world. Thank you for treating water and us human beings the way you do. You're a president of a company who is thriving, which is thriving, AMSA Inc. Thank you for having taken those 30 minutes to for myself to get to know you and our listeners as well. It is a privilege. Thank you so very much, and we see you around very soon.
Definitely. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. Oh, wow. This was a first, and I'd like to again thank profusively Janice Shawl for partaking this very first podcast, the AWT Wow edition. My name is Paule-Cast. I'm the host of the Paulecast, and I leave you with this words of wisdom today. Be wow and be happy. See you soon. Thank you.